Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So my last video, no, not the last one, the video I made about someone's response to people renting out their basements and all that, it's really gained a lot of traction. The views was great, but what impressed me was the comments. There was a lot of comments on the video. As of today, there was about 21 comments, and some of them, very few of them, apparently they did not watch the video. So you know those kind of people that from the topic of the video they just comment, and most times their comment doesn't even make sense because they did not even watch the video. But majority watched and they gave their feedbacks. Some were for and some were against what he said. I just want to go through them because I have not been able to respond to each one of them, and each person really took their time to comment. So I just decided to make a follow-up video to talk about their comments. So if you commented on the video, I'm going to respond to your comment, and I want to use the opportunity to appreciate you guys for watching my videos, for staying by me, you know, subscribing, liking my videos. It goes a long way. Like if you're a creator, you know it goes a long way. For someone to just like your video, like clicking the like button or commenting, it increases the level of engagement, and that's what YouTube wants, right? So it makes it to go to other people. So this camera is making me look like I'm big. Maybe it's the way I positioned it. Okay, I hardly positioned my camera like this. Okay, so let's go to the video. So for those people that have not watched the video, I would advise you to take time to watch, but it was just a response to what somebody said on TikTok. He made a video and he was actually addressing people in the US that I think I'll play it here.
Listen, immigrants, this is a very good advice to you guys, okay? All Africans watching me right now, you come to the United States, listen to this advice. Please, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know how much money you have. I don't know how you think. My thing is, you are in the United States as an immigrant. Please buy the house you can afford. Buy the house you can afford. The house that you can pay. You sign up for mortgage because you can pay that amount. Not to go buy a house where you know you pay. A lot of you don't understand. You're trying to prove a point to your friends and your relatives that will not help you pay your mortgage. Buy a house you can afford. One of the reasons why I'm saying it is, why is it that a lot of us Africans, you go sign up for a mortgage that you cannot afford with the intention of putting somebody in your basement for rent? Why did they go buy big house only for you to rent your basement? Why are you buying a big house only for you to put somebody in your basement? You know what that will cost you? That will cost you your family. If you have a spouse and kids, that could scatter your family. You people keep putting people in your basement because you need 1,200, 1,300 from them every month. In your mind, you're making money off your house, but you bring in spirits, different evil spirits in your house without you knowing. And everything you do in your house is out there because you have strangers in your basement. You have people in your basement that you think you fuck with. You think that fuck with you. They don't like you like that. They take your business in that house outside. And you wonder why people outside know your business. You and your spouse get into it today is a problem the whole world knows. You and your kids get into it today, the whole world knows. Africans, please don't come to America to prove the point. Buy the small house you can afford, you and your spouse. Don't go buy a big house while you're signing the paperwork. In your mind, you're going to have somebody in the basement that will help you pay that mortgage. And one thing about some of you, you don't understand how the system works. If somebody stays in your basement for more than 5 years, you can't even chase that person out anymore. That person can choose not to pay you. When you take them to court, the court will say, let them stay for 1 year until they find a place to live. Now you be at loss. And now you've created enemy for the rest of your life. Why are you people bringing evil spirits in your house because you need money? Buy a house you can afford, Africans. Stop buying big houses. I see it all the time. Somebody will go buy a house, $700,000. Before you know it, they have a sign somewhere in one of these African stores looking for somebody to rent basement. You cannot afford that house. Why did you buy that house? Why you buy that house? Who you they compete with? Oju Kokoro. Why you buy the house? Who they pursue you? Who are you competing with? Buy a house you can afford so that you can be at peace, so that you can sleep at night. Don't have big mansion to invite your friends for baby shower. You invite your friends for party. You invite your friends for birthday so that we see how big your house is. But at night you can't sleep. You're looking for somebody to rent your basement. Why are you renting out a basement if you can afford a house? Why are you renting out a room in that house if you can afford it? Buy a house you can afford, Africans. Stop trying to prove a point. Who are you trying to prove the point to?
He was talking about people in the US or in Canada, so it applies to us. Talking about Africans, that I think Nigerians, is that what he said? And he was talking about people buying houses they cannot afford and eventually renting out the basement to be able to pay for the rent. So he concluded kind of on the video that the reason why people are renting their basement is because they cannot afford the rent. And he talked about bringing evil spirits to your house and all that. So I talked about the video. Sorry, I'm distracted. So I talked about the video. I talked on both sides. Like, okay, there are actually some people like that, and also there are some people that are not like that. Not everybody renting the basement actually cannot pay for their rent. Sometimes some circumstances just come up and then you have to rent a basement. Change of income, change in lifestyle. Like, we have people, like for the income part, people that at the time they acquired the mortgage, they were earning so and so. Eventually something happened and the income dropped, so the mortgage payment definitely is going to be affected, so they may have to rent their basement. Things happen, like maybe the wife gives birth, she cannot work anymore, or she wants to take care of the kids. Things happen like that, or even one of them losing their jobs, right? Even we've seen cases where both partners lose their jobs and they have to do something to maintain the mortgage, right? That's one of the things that could happen. Another thing that could happen, change of lifestyle, like your family is now smaller, like maybe you're older, your kids are out of the house, you have space, you have to rent the house. Some people downsize. Sorry, I'm just putting on my shoes, it's really cold today. So some people actually get older, their kids move out of the house, so they have to rent. Some people downsize, like they sell the house and buy a smaller one, but most people don't, so they just rent the space. And the other parts, yeah, we have cases where it's not because they cannot pay the rent. It's not because they cannot pay the rent. Some people buy houses that are like too big for them. Even at the point of buying, the house is too big for you, and then you feel, oh, why am I wasting this space? I can rent it out and I can be saving. The income coming from the rental must not necessarily be part of my budget for expenses, right? We have people like that. So if you're paying maybe 1,000 with their monthly savings, you never can say. So a lot of things happen, and that we should not just put it up there and say this is the reason. You know, people, like as I said in that video, I work in a financial institution. We actually qualify people to be able to buy a house. If you cannot afford that house at that time, we won't even approve it. You can't go forward. So for anybody that buys that house at that time, it means they can afford it. Though some banks have different ways of qualifying people. Like you would see somebody that is rejected from this bank and this bank is approving them, or maybe mortgage brokers or something. They have a way of doing one or two things, which I don't know, but to me, if anybody buys a house, it means at that point in time they actually qualify for it. So enough of the ranting, let's go to the comments. I'll try to screenshot the comments I'm talking about at every point in time. So somebody said it's a good strategy to rent out part of your house in the US. Of course, you should buy what you can afford without tenant money, but rent from a tenant gives extra money to play around with. That's part of what I said. It could be is an extra income. So I mentioned in the other video that some people take second jobs to be able they take second jobs to be able to take care of their house. Like expenses is too high and all that, so they have to take second jobs. Instead of taking second jobs, you could as well rent your basement to be able to get that additional income. And you could use it to play around, like savings or doing a business, investing that money into a business or something. So that's the opinion of this guy. So the second one is saying he has a very good point. It is a word of advice, and the choice of following the advice is for the people or the persons concerned. I don't understand this story. He might know or have seen people having problems because of the points he mentioned. Yeah, that's true. So for him to carry his camera and talk about this thing, then it means people around him, he has seen a lot of cases like that where people are struggling to pay for their rent, and he knows those particular people around him are actually struggling because they couldn't afford what they bought, so they're struggling. So maybe that's the reason why he's saying so. Who knows? There is nothing wrong with renting your house for extra income. I have a 3-bedroom condo, and when my kids left the house, I decided to rent one room to international students. I felt I could help out while making extra income. That is a very valid point. So this person has 3-bedroom condo and his kids have left the home, so he decided to rent it out. Yeah, because if you leave a property without it being used, somehow it dilapidates, right? And you're helping out. Like in this community where I am, housing is very difficult to get. People are looking for anything to just rent. You see immigrants coming in and they don't have where to stay, staying with relatives, some even stay in hotels, Airbnb. So this person is helping the community and at the same time making extra income. So no biggie. What the man said is absolutely true. He wasn't referring to every African, but a huge percentage of us. People bite more than they can chew and end up working almost every day to be able to pay their mortgages. And that comment had 4 likes. So yes, a huge percentage of us buy more than what we can actually afford. Like if you go to a bank, the bank will tell you, this is the house you can afford. They'll tell you the exact amount, maybe a house of 300,000. This is what your income can afford. But you're coming forward with a house of 450 and you want to qualify for that. So if bank A cannot give you, keep hopping around different banks and you eventually find a bank that will give you will. And then you now start struggling to pay. So he said most people bite more than they can chew, and then they have to take, yeah, true. Somebody said he sounds like a bitter man. I don't know why he said so. That he sounds like someone that is bitter. Well, if you're looking at it from the perspective of him just generalizing, then maybe he's bitter. As somebody said earlier, maybe he's commenting from what he has seen someone, like there's somebody he knows or set of people he knows that fall into this category. So someone said it looks like you didn't understand the context of the man's advice. Both of you are very right, but the context of your argument is very different from his. Well done for making impactful content, Saadatu. Okay, I didn't understand his context. Well, I think I do, and that's why I spoke on both sides. I spoke on his context and I spoke on my own context too. So I kind of played the devil's advocate, like I talked about it, and so let me increase my heater because it's cold. So you may be hearing the noise of the heater, but I expect my microphone to be able to filter. Okay, your videos are always on point. I can't wait to meet you one day. I'll be arriving in 3 weeks time. Interesting. That would be so good to see you. Someone also said the key is to buy what you can afford and then still rent out the basement. Also, you got to remember that renting out the basement is mostly a Canadian thing. Yeah, like somebody was saying something like that. Well, and before anyone disagrees, there are people around the world that rent out their basement. I'm saying that in Canada, renting out your basement is the norm. If you buy a house you can afford and rent out the basement or the top and live in the basement like I do, then it can work really well for you. Most people can't sacrifice in order to try and get ahead. I have a brother that makes good money and he has lived paycheck to paycheck his whole life. And he also says he could never live in a basement. To each their own. Yeah, so this one is saying some people even rent out the main house and stay in the basement and leave the main house for the people, like whatever works for you. I feel this person, like if I have to stay in, if I cannot afford my rent and I have to stay in the basement and rent out the main house, why not? I will, as long as I know the property is mine, right? Most people cannot sacrifice in order to try and get ahead. So as I said, things happen and you may just have to rent out your basement. Let's just pray that everything keeps going fine for us. Things happen. I work in a financial institution and I see a lot of things happening, things you don't plan for, you know. You see some people buy a house within 2 years, 3 years, and a lot of things change for them negatively and they're looking for options to opt out. So let's just pray everything moves fine. Somebody said, Hansi, there is nothing wrong with what the man has said. You have not given any facts to prove otherwise. All you have said is your own personal opinion. He's entitled to his also. Same way he does not make sense to you, you don't make sense to some as well. I think I responded to this person. I said, try to finish watching my video before you comment. Thanks for watching. Yes, can you imagine? So there are some people that from the topic they just comment, they didn't watch it. So I won't waste much energy on this, not because I don't like it, but because actually he did not watch it. Okay, so as I said earlier, thank you so much for watching the video. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it. It's quite interesting, and please like this video and comment and subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. So if you keep watching my videos, YouTube keeps sending it to you. So you may think you have subscribed, but actually you have not subscribed. So the algorithm works in such a way that if you keep watching a particular content, it keeps coming to you even though you've not subscribed. So please subscribe so the algorithm doesn't have to stress themselves to show you my video. By default, whenever I upload any video, it's going to come up to you. Thank you.